So you're trying to figure out what's going to be the best platform that you sell your t-shirts on now that you've started your dope business. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing, pretty much comparing Etsy versus Shopify so that you can walk away from this video having a better understanding as to what platform you're going to use. Hey, what's up, friends? Welcome, 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 and welcome back. If you are not new here, my name is Alex at Defined by Alex, where we define our lives and building our dreams, y'all. Now, when I first started selling t-shirts, which was last year, 2020, y'all know that was a crazy year, right? I started using Shopify. Now, when it comes to different platforms, you know, there's more than Etsy and there's more than Shopify. There's a couple of them you really can choose from. For today's video, I'm just going to focus on Etsy and Shopify because those two are the ones I know the best. Let's start with Etsy. Now, from the jump, Etsy is free to start. There's nothing like having things free in the beginning. It just makes you feel like you're really saving some money and you're trying to figure out if this is going to work for you. So that's one thing I do like about Etsy. When you do sign up, it is totally free, okay? But when you start adding your listings, which is your t-shirts in this example, it's going to cost you 20 cents per listing. So let's just say you have 5 t-shirts that you're starting off with for your new business. So each listing is 20 cents, right? So that's already money that you're gonna have to think about every time that you create a listing on Etsy. But here's the thing, and y'all, I'm gonna just keep it real with you. When it comes to Etsy, you have to be more thought-provoking because with Etsy, it's not your platform. It is not your domain. It's not like customers can go to Etsy and then like look up certain things about your store. I mean, they can search for you, you know, but it's not like it's your individualized, personable domain for your business, okay? So you're sharing this platform with tons of other sellers and crafters because that's what Etsy provides. It's a space for crafters, especially handmade crafters, to put their business online to sell their products. So if you are thinking about the Etsy route, I wanted to just point out some things that I want you to consider, especially if you are on a tight budget, okay? So we already mentioned Etsy is free when you start. When you start adding your listings, it's 20 cents per listing. So just be mindful of that. Etsy has fees, y'all, okay? Like, they charge you some fees, all right? And if that's not something that you're calculating in your budget, you could potentially lose money. And I would not want that for you. So just be mindful that when you're on Etsy and you have your listings and you are running ads, that money, however their fees are, y'all, I don't know all the percentages like that, but I know that they are taking a good chunk of that money out to cover, you know, things in their platform, your listing, your ads. So just be mindful of those fees. And that's personally why I moved. I moved off of Etsy because I did not realize all the fees and I was not trying to lose all my money, okay? Now, mind you, when you're on Etsy, especially as a new seller, okay? And this is where I want to touch back on being more thought-provoking because if you don't have a plan or if you don't know how to sell anything, you can lose money, okay? If you're running ads and no one's buying your product, that's another way you can lose money, and that's where those fees come in. So you just have to be mindful with Etsy just because they are going to hit you with the fees and you might not be ready for it. So I really think that Etsy is a wonderful platform, okay? I am not here to bash Etsy. I just think that it is not for everyone who wants to sell t-shirts. That's just what I'm saying, okay? Listen. That's really what I'm trying to get you to understand, is that I think that when it came for me to sell my t-shirts, I gave Etsy a try. You know, I customized my page. If you're not new here, then you know the link that I shared from my shop was my Etsy shop before I moved back to Shopify. So I've kind of been back and forth, but again, I want you guys to walk away with the understanding of what to expect and what you're willing to put up with when it comes to Etsy versus Shopify. So I think Etsy is a great platform, especially for handmade sellers and crafters. You can find some really dope gems on Etsy that you may not find anywhere else, you know, or in stores. Like, people put their hard-earned sweat into their work, and I love what it represents. However, I just don't personally think it is for every t-shirt seller. Okay, so enough about that. Let's move on to Shopify. Now, when I first started selling my t-shirts, I actually started on Shopify. I made my domain, I, paid the fee or had the trial, and then started making, the monthly fee or whatever. I learned how to customize my website, which, full disclaimer, your girl didn't know how to make a website. I had never did that before at all. I'm not a coder, so I had to learn a lot with Shopify's domain. And so my take on Shopify, if you are a new t-shirt seller, the things that I like about Shopify are that, number one, you own your domain. If your t-shirt company is called Too Legit to Quit and you want to make the URL Too Legit to Quit, you can do that on Shopify if it's not taken, okay? Because they will let you know if your ideal domain or website is taken or not. But if it's not, you can roll with that. And that's one thing you cannot do on Etsy, because obviously Etsy is like the main site, the main domain, okay? So when it comes to Shopify, you can be more personable. You can customize it. You can make it your own. And more specifically, you can make it match your brand awareness. And that's what I genuinely love. Like, I am in business to make money, but also have an awareness, have a concept with mantras, with affirmations, with expressions, and I need my website to convey that, okay? So when it came to Shopify, I was like, you know what? I liked it. Like I said, I started with it. Even though I moved off of it, I came back to it because my realization was that Shopify for me allowed me to really feel like I owned my business. Now that may sound silly, but I feel like y'all get what I'm saying. It's an ownership that you don't get on Etsy, to be honest with you, okay? So let me talk about what I am not liking about Shopify, or what I think could improve on. So Shopify is, if you ask me, very like tech savvy. They have codes you have to plug in or copy and paste, and to be honest, I am not completely like unexposed to codes and anything, but I'm also not like tech savvy to know like, okay, what is this, where does this go, to be able to see it on my front end of my website. So I just really wish that Shopify has some type of like, I don't want to say this in a bad way, y'all, but like to dumb it down in a way for people who have no idea how to install a code. Yes, they have good instructions, and I'm not saying that, but there are just some things that you probably just need extra like guidance on, especially when it comes to codes, URLs, all that tech Java stuff. So some things I feel like for Shopify, unless you're really tech savvy or you're willing to sit down and like watch a few tutorials to learn how to do it, that might deter you from wanting to be on Shopify because maybe you just don't feel like you want to be in that place right now to do all of that. However, if you are looking for a platform that allows you to, again, be more personable to your audience and your customers so that when they go on your website, they feel like, oh, this is where I belong, I'm happy to shop here, and all that good jazz. Now, let's talk about the Shopify fees, because Shopify has them as well. So I believe it is either a 7-day or 14-day trial that you are a part of when you sign up. Now, if you really know how to move really fast and you have an idea about your website, you pretty much can probably pop that up within 14 days and before you're charged out of your first month. And they have like different layers of membership. So I believe the basic is about $29.99 and the other one is really expensive, and I don't know how much that one is because I don't use that one. But the basic one is $29.99, and it's not that bad starting off, especially if you can kind of like calculate that in your budget. So Shopify has those fees, 14-day free trial, and then you start paying your monthly membership, whichever one you choose, after your 14 days, okay? Another thing about Shopify is that they also are very well known for having built-in apps for you to grow your store. Etsy doesn't have that, and if they do, I've never seen it. So, and I'm not talking about, you guys, like the print on demand stuff. I'm not talking about any of those apps. I'm more so referring to the apps that help you grow your, you know, add coupon codes or add pop-ups to your website for people to sign up for your email listing and all that stuff. So like Shopify allows you to optimize your personable website, and that's why I went back to it, because I'm like, okay, well, obviously I have a business now. I need to market. I need to optimize my business. Etsy not doing it for me. I mean, it just wasn't giving what it needed to give. And so when I was back on Shopify, I realized how I enjoyed to pretty much find some apps that help me like grow my business, okay? Because that is the number one reason why I'm in my business. So those are things that I would say as far as Shopify to take heed of, because you may feel like that's better for you if you're someone who doesn't mind putting in a little bit extra work to really see the results that you know you can see in your new t-shirt business. All right, y'all, so let's wrap up this video and really compare the things about Etsy versus Shopify. So again, with Etsy, you have a free sign up and membership. They do take a lot of fees out. It's a shared platform, so you're not gonna be just the only person on that platform. You share it with a lot of other creators and sellers. You have no control over marketing with Etsy. You do run ads, but I mean, we're not going to talk about ads. That's a separate video. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that with Etsy, you really got to make sure that your products are bomb, because they're going up against so many popular sellers who are also running ads. All right, moving on to Shopify. It's a 14-day free trial, and then you start paying your memberships right after that, whichever level that you choose. You can be your own website, your own domain. You own that, and no one else does, because once it's registered with Shopify, it cannot be copied. So you own your website. You can become very personable. You can add plugins, like things to add to your cart, or like reminders for your customers to go back and purchase from what they left in their cart. All these nice optimization add-ons that you have to grow your business. And then Shopify does have fees, but like I said, to me, I don't think they're that bad compared to Etsy. Okay, friends, so that is it for today's video on deciding what platform you should start selling your t-shirts on. Whether that's going to be Etsy or Shopify, I know that you're going to make a really good decision. And honestly, it all comes down to is how much work are you willing to put in after you make your product. Some people like to go the route of, okay, so I've designed my t-shirt, I just want to sell it and call it a day with a little tweaking here and there with marketing. Okay, cool. That's group A. Well, group B, they may want to put more extra work in because they know that investment in their time is going to be such a great return for their sales. So I hope that helps you guys have a better understanding as to what platform you're going to use for your t-shirt business, y'all. So thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, again, my name is Alex. I do have a t-shirt business myself, and I love it here, okay? Don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and always choose yourself first. And I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Bye, y'all.